Sam, whatever you're called, right? You see, you must be the most bored man on planet Earth, because what you do is you sit and talk about what the fuck I do. Remember this, right? What you talk about, I do. I do it. You talk about it, I do it. So that gives me the right to say whatever I want about what I do. It doesn't give you the right because you don't do it. Now, if you show me a video of you doing it and doing it at the level I do it at, then maybe you can have a say. But remember this, I fight, you watch. It's that simple. That's all it's about. I fight, you watch. No one gives a shit about what you say or what you do, but they give a shit about me because I fight. I don't watch. Simple as that. Your podcast isn't worth a carrot. I don't give a shit what you say, what you do. If you've got something to say to me, I'm not hard to find. I'm usually on the front row of boxing events. Come and say hello, or come and say to me what you'd say to me on your daft podcast. But remember this, I get more views with a fart than what you get with a 2-hour podcast. On that note,
never gets old, Andy.
Never gets old. Never gets old. I mean, like, he's out here actually getting comment on social justice issues and football and all that sort of stuff. But Tony, you don't do it at that level, so you don't get the comment. And when you do it at their level, that's when you get the comment. So until then,
it's as simple as that.
When you've lost weight like Tony, you might turn up in the Belly of the Weeks later on. Little spoiler alert for you there. You've been on the programme, Rob, on the package?
99 kilos I was at the start of the first lockdown, and 91 kilos this morning. So, you know, after doing a bit of running and all that, like, so, yeah, maybe I'll do it before and after, like Tony Bellew one tonight, and then another one tomorrow morning.
Good old Tony. Episode 402, Belly of the Week. So let's get stuck into the first one then, shall we? Conor Brennan has nominated George Foreman. George was impressed and says Mike Tyson, after his fight with Roy Jones, is still capable of a title run. George maybe will come back into the ring himself. Who knows? Holly Lewis, Belly of the Week for Eddie Hearn's outfit on Friday night. Was he getting ready to join a boy band? Congratulations on reaching 400 episodes. You've helped keep my morale up from late March onwards as I was working from home. What about Eddie on Friday night then, Rob? Dr. Evil, as you labelled him?
$1 million. Yeah, he's apparently the pants were Givenchy. I thought they looked more like Givenchy. Have a look at yourself. The fucking
Bit of Javonta there from Eddie. Who was this? I can't remember now. I think it might have been Liam Jordan, actually, talking about Bean. If or when Callum Smith takes the belts off Canelo, it sets up 2 unbelievable fights with Eubank and Billy Joe Saunders. Fuck off, Bait Bean, says Liam Jordan. Leon the Canteen has nominated Anthony Yard, hands down, deluded and embarrassing, and a bad sore loser. Dossers in the camp, says Leon. Terry Woodfine has nominated Jamie Pigeon. Curtis Woodhouse said, feel sorry for Yard. He's got clowns around him, and clowns belong in circus, not in boxing. Would love to see Yard with Adam Booth or Dave Caldwell. Jamie Pigeon says, Frank has done a poor job with Lyndon. That's no upset if you know boxing. Imagine Lyndon with Eddie. Would be a well-known fighter and built up like a superstar. We hear this all the time, don't we, Andy? Imagine if they were with Eddie. Imagine if they were with Eddie.
Oh, yeah, it's like Eddie's the be-all and end-all who's got like an exit strategy and stuff. It's like, you know how Eddie is, man. You know, like, you know, there's no fights for the Charlos because you need to be on the zone, right? And what happens? The zone's basically called Dead Zone now, and Charlo's like the number 1 fighter at 154. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Aaron Mahern, basically, end of the day. I mean, he's the one that's saying that, you know, the easy fights are over during this pandemic. It's time to make the big fights, the hard fights. Still fucking waiting, Eddie. Still waiting.
Well said, Andy. I'm sure you'll indulge me. No excuse to play this.
So in 10 days' time, touch wood, DAZN have the entire roster of middleweight world champions. So people like Charlo, you've no fights for you. If you want to be a world middleweight champion, you better join DAZN ASAP.
What a fucking flag. Gonna be like a Camp Bond film, by the way, honestly.
Givenchy, thank Karen.
Danny Young, Belly of the Week for Anthony Yard, saying in the interview, I'm not taking that as a defeat. Listen up, lad. You'll fucking take that defeat and like it. You fucking pussycat to Danny Young. Going in on Yard himself. Humble Mike has nominated Nigel Hudson. Hudson was sort of comparing the Dubois-Joyce fight to being like Oscar Mayweather, with Dubois being Oscar and Joyce being Mayweather, in case you were worried there. So Nigel Hudson getting something on the old boxing.
I just wondered if Yard left Tunde Ajayi to go in. Someone could leave some feedback in the comments that he's looking for there and suggest maybe taking on Dr. Joseph Ajayo as a replacement. I'd be interested to see where that goes. That
would be. I'd love to see Dr. Joseph Ajayo in the corner sometime soon. One person you don't want to be seen in the corner, Rob, for fear of your life, perhaps. Vivian Obanov,
baby.
Former title challenger, arrested and held in connection with husband's death. I don't believe it, Rob. Tell me it's not true.
What happened, baby? What happened? I seen it, right? Because the whole world has tagged me in on the story, by the way. It just goes to show the reach of the pod. Thanks, lads. But yeah, it just I always thought they were wrong for each other anyway, Steve. You know that, like,
yeah.
But I think when I saw the story first, I thought, oh, Vivian Obanov, I thought she's displaying that Latin passion, and then I said, oh no, she killed him. I said, oh shit. Clarissa Shields was quick to fucking say that she's not the GOAT and that she would have beaten him to death without a blunt object.
Yeah, by the way.
And I know what's happened here. I don't want to give a Columbo, but I think I have it fucking worked out here. I know what's happened, right? She's fucking got with him because he's the older man, you know, probably has a few quid in the Swiss bank account and all that. Skeptics might say, right? So she's like, you know, she's doing her part. She's giving herself to the old man, and the old man's thinking like, now, I got this young one, like I could fucking get one of these OnlyFans ones or something. She spotted the OnlyFans on the bank statement, man, gone for the blunt object. The cheeky, you old bastard, I'll give you that, bum, and finished them emphatically. But she's beat, what's her name?
More success than on those Eddie undercards anyway, I think. God bless her.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not looking good for Vivian. She might get a Netflix documentary about it though, so every cloud. Fuck me. I still love you, baby. It's all good.
What do you think, Andy? Any case for the defence here?
Well, apparently she's got previous stuff slapping about her ex-boyfriend and stuff. I mean, there's something to be asked when a 30-something woman marries a guy roughly around about his mid-60s and stuff. You think, is it really about love? Is it really about that companionship? Or is it just really about that, you know, what makes the world go round? Cash.
All about the Benjamins, baby.
All about the greenbacks, you know.
Free the Obanov. The boys are in support of Vivian. Innocent until proven guilty, I suppose.
Oh, that's going to be my next t-shirt line right there. Free Obanov, free Vivian.
Oh, we need to get them sold, baby. We make a fortune.
That's our next venture. Get behind that. Free Obanov. Brilliant.
Fucking hot water bottles. Get the t-shirts printed.
Good old Vivian. It's getting worse here on Belly of the Week. Johnny Clash has nominated Scott Baker. He was having a discussion with Tony Bellew and Johnny Walker talking about Billy Joe Saunders' performance on Friday night. He obviously didn't listen in on the post-fight pod. He says, I don't know, mate. Billy Joe Saunders is so slick. So he kept leaving his right glove down tonight, which won't fly with Canelo's left hook. But Billy Joe Saunders can be unbeatable with little mistakes when he's up for it. And this is where it gets interesting. His movement reminds me of a southpaw Joy Jones Jr. in his prime. Power's his issue.
Triple J.
Old Joy, remember them days, Andy? Joy Jones, the way she was. But I know he's obviously referencing to Roy. I don't know what's worse, the typo or the fact that he's calling Saunders a southpaw Roy Jones.
I know there's zero fucking resemblance of any type of even skin colour could fucking say he's anything. Right? His hooks, his engine, his foot movement is nothing resembling Joy Jones Jr. Triple J.
To be fair, I mean, Billy Joe thinks he's as good as Roy Jones Jr., so there's at least another person to agree with this statement out there.
Solid point, Matty. Solid point. What about this one? This could be a front runner. The amount of people who tagged me in. This is almost on Rob Obanov levels. The first person was Box Hard Podcast. Shout out to them. That's it. Winner of the Belly of the Week, Johnny Nelson. for saying that James Tennyson would beat Gervonta Davis. It's over. I'm trying to. I should have cut the clip. Really, I was trying, but my God, Rob, man, what the hell is going on here? Tennyson, after knocking out Josh O'Reilly, is going to beat Gervonta, and he looks serious, Nelson.
Well, he got Eddie off the hook because Eddie had said he's the Irish Golovkin, didn't he, just before that? So he got Eddie off the hook with that one. Like, that was insane. Is it Tank Davis gone up even, or is he going up? I don't know. What the fuck? Like, anyway, James Tennyson will get smashed a bit by Tank Davis, and I like James Tennyson. That's not fucking taking anything away from him, but he's just not on that level. Like, and punching power wise, like, imagine. Oh, I don't know. Imagine he's done it though.
Yeah. I don't know, Andy, man. I'm a big Tennyson fan. Obviously, I went over to Boston to watch him fight Tevin Farmer, but he got stopped by Tevin Farmer, man. I mean, this is just ridiculous from Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got decent power at a certain level, okay, and it needs to be respected, I suppose. But, this is... Johnny knew what he was doing there, actually, because when Anna Wheelhouse put it to him and stuff like that, he says, "Oh, that'll be a bone of contention on Twitter and stuff like that." And don't Johnny give it the thing a thumbs down and stuff. He knows what he's doing, but at the same time, that was meant to be a world title eliminator at 135 for a WBA title. That deserved a nomination. But Johnny Nelson to say that he beats Tank Davis is an absolute disgrace, absolute shambles. Tennyson has shown nothing above his level, probably, what is it, European? I mean, Tevin Farmer stopped him, for Christ's sake. I mentioned it during the post-fight pod. But has he got 2-3 knockouts or whatever it is? Absolutely schooled him. And all of a sudden, he's the Irish Golovkin. And listen, there's no debating that he's got power, as I say, is at a certain level. But, when you go up in class against world-class fighters and that, that power gets negated because they know how to handle it, know how to roll with it, they know how to block it. Right, and if you've got nothing really outside your power, then you're on your plums. You're relying on absolutely nothing. You're relying on a shot like Garcia was trying to rely on that left hook last night. That's never going to materialise because the guys know what you're going to do. They'll just block it off. That's all they do. Tennyson, again, WB rankings are trash, right? But come on, Christ, man, can you imagine him? Can you imagine if he got a title shot against Teofimo Lopez? What Lopez would do to him? I'm trying to be respectful here, but come on, man. Lopez would absolutely destroy him.
Johnny, a solid front runner. It's going to be hard to beat, but some people are trying. Greg Cross sent a couple in. Tundi, first of all, he's a strong shout for this week on the Costello and Bunce podcast. Anthony Yard has never been outboxed, says Tundi. And then Tony Bellew, an IFL, I think he was speaking at the Golden Contract Finals here, said, "The referee saved my life in the Usyk fight. I was up at 6, and had he let me, I would have fought on."
He's been talking to Eddie Hearn and Billy White again, eh?
He was up at 6 against Usyk.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to you. He did get up. He did get up, but he got stopped on his feet, actually, to be honest with you. But he wasn't up at 6.
He's trying to say, though, basically, that he would have got up and the ref would have, he would have carried on fighting. But he was gone, man.
He was concussed, the fuck. He was saying, like...
Do you remember in the
Alexander?
podcast? Yeah.
Alexander.
He was searching for his words for, like, fucking half an hour.
Oh, Bellew. Love a bit of Bellew talk. Bit of sympathy here for me and you, Andy, for Lyndon Arthur. Poppy Puggle has nominated him for weighing in with piss-stained boxers. It can happen, the old shake problem.
It does happen. If you didn't shake it and not try to kind of lose the last few shreds of ounces and stuff like that. I mean, he's getting older. As we get older, it begins to dribble a little bit because, the old prostate doesn't work like it used to be. So it's just part of growing old. That's all it is, man. Listen, just, the advice is this. Don't forget to shake it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Just shake it.
You know what it's like when you get to our age, Andy. Never mind getting up for a run at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's more like a run to the toilet.
Shake it anyway. Shake it anyway when you're our age.
Aye, well, I've noticed actually the last few months that I'm having to get up during the night now for a piss and that. So I think my own mortality is creeping up on me here a wee bit.
Oh dear, a few more to go here. Cam Butterfield, Eddie just said Billy Joe Saunders versus Martin Murray would have filled up the O2. Lol, the bullshit never ends. Ricky Gravel and a few of the boys were nominating that one. Dominic Henry has nominated Mauricio Suleiman for all the heroes. He's made some kind of COVID belt, is it? Like an NHS worker or something on the front?
Yeah, it's not like WBC to try and profit in the pandemic, Wouldn't it be like them?
Looks like that hairy lad on the belt. Fucking, what's his name? It turns up at the office.
This chap.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's him, yeah. That's his belt.
Need a belt for him. Yeah, this was mentioned earlier. Tony Bellew, been up in my training game, best I can with my ankle and diet, thanks to do the unthinkable. Now, listen, let's have a bit of respect for Tony. He was 17.7 stone, now 16.2 stone. If you want to have a go at the diet, brackets highly recommended. Click the link in my profile. Includes my training guide, which you can download and follow. 1.5 stone down. He's been following the muscle food weight loss. The only problem is these photos were taken from a while back, Andy. I think Tony trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
He's basically put up. So he used a diet 14 months ago, right? And then he's on another diet and used the same photographs 14 months later. And who was it? Was it Eubanks Lost Pen? I think it was on Twitter. Kind of picked him up on it and stuff. So yeah, I mean that was Monday. I mean, Monday always seems to kind of bring out the high end Bellew the Week nominations and stuff, and you sometimes forget, but Bellew blagging again, man. I mean, using it's a bit like Eddie. Eddie likes to recycle fighters. Fucking Bellew's recycling pictures.
Oh man, and he didn't say it's an ad. So don't these social media guys put themselves in danger of getting sued sometimes because he didn't say that was an ad, and the pictures are clearly from fucking 6 months ago.
The plot, Rob, the plot thickens, right? Because you see the bit at the bottom was a cut and paste job. It was like a DAZN's really paying off because Neil Ruddock, former footballer, also showed a picture of himself with the belly, and he had put pretty much the same words as Bellew there.
Oh my god! So they're whoring out their social media accounts for a few quid. Where you just leave them alone? Just leave them alone. Don't be digging up pictures of them from 6 months ago. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone to lose weight with muscle food. Get in touch. We could maybe lose a few pounds on the older muscle food. Would you be happy, Matty, to promote muscle food? You probably haven't got much weight to lose, really.
Oh man, I could lose probably 30 pounds at all. I don't know that I should be promoting anything.
30 pounds, Matty. 30 pounds. Come on, man. With their 3-day trial, which is only £25, you should get straight on that.
God, man. No, man, I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm going to stick with I'm going to go with the bulimic diet. I've been considering that one. I just hope that nobody does what I did to an ex I had who was a bulimic. One day, I put saran wrap on the toilet seat. Yeah, so that was entertaining.
He's taking us in new directions, it's fair to say. Well, okay, let's move on. Clarissa Shields has been nominated. No, it's the ESPN reporter, Brett Okamoto, for misgendering the real deal, Holyfield quote, Clarissa Shields. I've been having to think about Clarissa, actually, Matty. The way she keeps on going on about moving over and beating up all these men. And she's only got like 2 knockouts, so she's not really knocking out women at the moment. So, I mean, if she was an explosive knockout artist and she had the proven power, I'd say, fair enough, go and fight Rocky Fielding. But she's not even blasting out the women, Matty, so I'm not sure how she would fare if she moved over.
Oh, I think they'll probably would do it like the tennis match with Billie Jean King. I can't even remember the name of the damn guy that she played. It wasn't like he was a major champion or anything, like that. They grabbed like, the 100th ranked guy in the world kind of thing. So I imagine, if she ever decided, hey, let's do it as a stunt or whatever, they'll pull some guy up from a couple of weight divisions below her with, that has a winning record, but they got their winning record at 126 pounds, and that will be her foray into fighting men, and it will be whatever it is.
Looking forward to seeing that. Brett Okamoto has been nominated, though. Charlie Hazlitt asking DAZN, is Joshua Pulev free if you subscribe? DAZN Help came in and helped him out. Joshua Pulev will not be available on DAZN in the UK, but you can catch Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell 1 week earlier, and lots more upcoming fights. Barry L's nominated them for that. Of course, the Luke Campbell-Ryan Garcia fight's been moved, so DAZN's descent into Setanta Sports territory continues. John Swan put this up earlier as a question. I'm going to put it in Bellew of the Week's. Tundi Ajayi. He said, do you think Anthony Yard learns and progresses through Tundi Ajayi's training regime and achieves highest grade within System 9, that he'll then be equipped with the tools to take on the world and win? #Lions in the camp. I've left this for this point, Andy, because Tundi in this System 9, he's got to get a nomination, hasn't he? And the guy's been on an absolute mare recently, and everyone's saying that Anthony Yard should drop him. And I think a Bellew of the Week nomination might cheer him up for the week.
No, because he ended up blocking us, and I didn't want him to block me on Twitter because he's actually quite, entertaining. because he comes out with some bullshit and that. And I can get on with that, but I've learned something new. I can't control people as much now on Twitter because they take it too sensitive. And Tunde's one of the guys that only positive feedback required here, right? So, as I say, look, Yards buying into this bollocks, this lines in the camp stuff and that. He's got to go. He's just got to go. It's not going to work for him. It's just not going to work. I mean, he's still, that was a Commonwealth title fight there last night. Okay, maybe the situation kind of like brought it forward and that, but these are the fights he should have been having coming up before Kovalev. And now he's back at that fucking same level and stuff like that. He's still the same trainer, same mantras, no sparring. System 9 malfunctions for a second time and stuff. And as I say, if he loses the rematch, where does he go for there? It's a total rebuild.
It's not looking good for Anthony Yarde. It's not looking good for Tunde either. Positive feedback only. Well, Kung Flu Fighter has nominated him. Yarde said in the corner, "I'm struggling to get inside the jab. I can't close the distance and get my shots off. What shall I do?" Tunde, Lions in the camp. So
there we go.
It's still working for him.
I'm glad that actually they broke it down what Yarde said and what prompted Tunde to come out with that. I mean, come on, fuck. So what does he mean? Like, just get out your cage and attack him like Chris Algier against Manny Pacquiao did, and then he got fucking dropped like 5 seconds later? I don't know.
Yeah, Tim Lane, those are the days. Joe Kennedy, I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but I hope you're well out there, Joe. Manuk Akopian was talking about an interview he did with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia told me in a boxing scene interview that he was already a Hall of Fame fighter before he decisioned Ivan Redkach in January. Do you agree? They were mentioning this on the way into the ring as well, Andy, saying, Danny Garcia, Hall of Fame resume. I'm not really big on the Hall of Fame. No, you're not too bothered about it either. It's been pretty much watered down. But Garcia, he's been a good fighter. He's been a solid fighter. He's won world titles, just fell short at times. In any reasonable Hall of Fame where you're putting up the best of the very best, he wouldn't make it for me.
No, definitely no. I mean, but there was a period in that when he was fighting named fighters, maybe slightly, definitely it's past. I mean, Morales was past his prime, Judah was past his prime. I remember the Matisse fight. Matty would probably come onto that one if he wants, but the Matisse fight was the one that would be expected, or at least some expected that Matisse was going to beat him. And in the end, it was a kind of closest fight in that, but Garcia basically kind of put a bit of beating on him, kind of swelled the eyes shut, stuff like that. He definitely lost to Herrera, in my opinion. The Rod Salka fight would always, for time immemorial, get fucking glanced as a absolute mismatch. Lamont Peterson potentially should have got the decision. And then he goes up to 147, and this is where it kind of doesn't hold weight for me. You talk about a fighter who's going to be an ATG or a Hall of Famer. Right, you fight at 147, Sammy Vargas, Robert Guerrero, Keith Furman, Brandon Rios, Sean Porter, Granados, Redkach, and Spence. Now, Thurman, Porter, and Spence, you lose these 3, but you beat the rest. The rest are maybe C-level fighters or washed, right? And I mean, right, Rios and Guerrero at that point, who you knocked out one and you went the distance with the other. No, he's had a good career. He's made good. He's made good paper, but
I don't even know if he makes into the Hall of Garcias.
To be honest, well, why? But to be honest, look, if he ends up on the ballot, good and well. He's not going to be a first ballot. It'll be a 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe a 6th recycled ballot and that. So he might get in at some point, but it's not going to be a first time one. And as you say, the Hall of Fame is diluted. I mean, Gatti's in there because of his popularity, not because he was a world class fighter. That's just the facts of the matter.
My standards, Andy, are like things like Pacquiao. That mad run he went on when he beat like De La Hoya, Hatton, Cotto. The run I mean through those years before the Bradley fight. That should be like the sort of standard for me.
That is a standard. Guys like Usyk will get in because he's cleared out of the division. I'm trying to think about light heavyweight off the top of my head. Maybe Ward will definitely get in when he's eligible.
He also has an amateur background that's worth considering too when it comes to Andre, though, even if you think his pro career was short.
Yeah, but I really don't put so much stock in the amateur game and stuff because the pros is the pros, and this is what we're voting on. I mean, the Hall of Fame was...
Well, then is Lomachenko a Hall of Famer? If you consider his amateur credentials, you have to make him a Hall of Famer.
I think it's 3-weight world champion as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not exactly fought like C-level opponents. He's fought guys who are belt holders, title holders, or ex-champions and stuff. So, Ward gets in definitely. I'm trying to think of examples now who have.
We have to consider Gaddy like the bottom. Like, that's the floor. You have to be Gaddy or better. You know, like they kind of sank the level when they inducted Arturo. To be honest.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
think
hate.
there's.
He put up a lot of great efforts. You know, he was the Matthew Sad Muhammad of his day. He maybe deserves his spot, but
He also lost to
He
a
just-
journeyman.
yeah,
You know?
I think it's sad. Matthew Sad Muhammad fought and beat some fucking killers, and that was a light heavyweight division at that time. That was red hot. It's probably not been as
I
hot
could
since then.
I can see how you can take away from Gaddy, but also I can see how he's there in terms
Mhm.
of just sheer entertainment.
Like an
value and
icon,
sheer,
I think,
like-
isn't it? With
Yeah.
Gaddy?
Yeah, exactly.
Then
like
Ricky
iconic
Hatton
moments
should
and
be in
stuff,
there
but-
as well.
Well, he
I mean,
fought-
I wouldn't disagree with Ricky Hatton getting in there, to be honest with you. But like, I remember people like questioning Hector Camacho getting in and stuff like it. It's the standard these days is definitely dropped. But to say Danny Garcia is a Hall of Fame fighter, man, that's definitely Bellew of the Week worthy. I think he peaked at 140, had his 2 best performances there, and has been out partying with Adrian Broner ever since. Living that life, living la vida
Sounds
loca,
good to
baby.
me.
Him an angel.
Yep, there's one thing I can agree with you.
Angel
Chuck with.
dust.
Big Saad Muhammad fan, my favourite
Yeah.
fighter of all time. Also, I'm going to mention Andy. I don't get predictions right very often, as you well know, but I did say that Danny Garcia would outbox Lucas Matisse. So I'm going to mention that at every possible opportunity because of all the L's that I take.
Yeah, well, listen, mate. Every win's a win, you know. Every hole's a goal.
Absolutely. That's what I say. Final nomination. That was just reminded us of the big one, I suppose. Johnny Nelson and James Tennyson. With that punch power, I think it might not go down too well. I think he'll beat Gervonta Davis now. I'm telling you, the power that young man's got, give the boy a chance. I'm telling you now, put him in with Davis, says Johnny Nelson. And no better place to leave it, but we shall move on and see if the boys have any nominations. Matty, any nominations from you for Bellew of the Week, episode 402?
Yeah, my nomination, actually, shockingly, is Big George Foreman. I love Big George, but he said in an interview with USA Today regarding the Mike Tyson-Roy Jones Jr. fight, specifically regarding Mike Tyson, if he gets in shape like he's in now, gets his timing back, and all the other things fall into place, he can have an opportunity to fight for the title. If he can be managed right, the right champion will come to him, and if the right one comes, he can knock him out, Foreman told USA Today.
Matty, can I add something into that? Because I remember back in 2006, sadder that I am, the great heavyweight Axel Schultz returned to the ring against Brian Minto, ready to make a glorious rerun back to world title glory. And a host of legends, including Evander Holyfield and George Foreman, appeared on the screens as Schultz made his way into the ring. And Foreman said something along the lines of, "If you go out and win this and get the title back, you're going to go down as the greatest there ever was." Schultz lost in 5 rounds to Brian Minto and never boxed again.
Brian Minto, man. That'll take you back. That guy got you talk about a guy that got the best out of what he had, man, as far as making money. Jesus Christ, the opportunities that dude got.
That's George Foreman for you. Go ahead, Andy. Any nominations from you? You seem to have thrown something in, but I'll give you the chance to throw your nominations in.
Apparently, Chuck was not happy about my comment about Gatti. He says Matthew Sad Muhammad's much better than Gatti. Right? Well, that's what I said, didn't I?
Mm.
I mean, he's telling me to lay off
Fell
the pipe.
asleep, in fairness to him. Fell
He's telling
asleep.
me to lay off the fucking pipe. Listen, go and watch that era 175, right? And then come back to me and tell me that Gatti fought better opposition and beat better opposition. Shut the fuck up, Chuckwood. Get off your fucking night shift and go to sleep.
I fell asleep.
Ben Farouki's just basically said, let us know that Floyd Mayweather's put out on Instagram that the Logan Paul exhibition's happening on February 20th.
Oh,
So
That's the dumbest thing ever.
I have no idea what's happening. Steve, cheers for the let us know title watch. Mikhail Sislak in Poland last night fighting, is it Taylor Mabiki?
Yeah.
Or a title just emblazoned champion.
It was the most generic Argos catalogue belt you've ever seen, wasn't it?
Oh, it was absolute shit. So yeah, Sislak won that fight by I think it was 5-6 round knockout. Tony Bellew again for saying that he's talking about Saunders against Murray on Friday night. He says both technically very good, Martin Murray's looking really well and very sharp. Billy is so slick and relaxes at all times when he's in there. Really good boxing match. This is only going to get better as the pace increases, in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Simple as that, Tony. Ebony Bridges putting out her tweet there. She's en route to dinner, getting those memories out, by the way. But don't dare comment on them, by the way. Eddie Hearn would be. It's just basically she's trying too hard with that kind of tweet, basically.
63-year-olds, watch out.
Yep. Ian John Lewis for that scorecard. Again, as I say, it's pretty much pointless, shouting about it because the board will close ranks. Nothing to see here. Investigation found nothing, and Lewis remains in place. Just another utterly incompetent official. So he is. Frank Warren as well, actually, for doubles down. I don't know what it is with Frank Warren these days. Actually, he's doing this that shoulder roll thing he does pretty much, but he's doing it more times than fucking Floyd and James Toney does in a fight combined, so, but he's basically kind of, called out Eddie and basically also said, he'll actually let them see the test results of Brian Dubois' x-ray and at the same time says that he wants to see Dillian White's B sample.
Oh yeah, that was a good one, that.
So I'll put Frank in for that one as well.
Well, I think you're right, Andy, in terms of fundamentals. Like, we're seeing a lot of stuff with head movement over the last 2 weeks. You see Dubois, lack of head movement. Danny Garcia, lack of head movement. Obanov's ex, lack of head movement there, clearly. So, so get back to the fundamentals.
Prison rules indeed. Any nominations from you, Rob, before we get out of here?
It's got to be Vivian now. I'm sorry to say she's gone down to pound for pound number 2. It's all about Jessica McCaskill now, unfortunately. I don't think Ebony Bridges has shown enough form to make the top 5, but Vivian, how could you do it like that, baby? That Latin temper and all. It's all cute and it's all fucking fun in games till somebody's skull is smashed all over the fucking bathroom floor. And you're going to be the star of a Netflix thriller. Vivian Obanov, where did it all go wrong?
Vivian Obanov getting nominated from Andy. It's got to be Johnny Nelson for me, Andy. Who are you going for?
It's a shout out between Nelson, Hearn for his comments about Dubois, and what was the other one?
Tunde, Bellew. All the big players have been out this week.
I'm going to go for the ultimate blagger in this game, Tunde Ajayi. I'm going to go for Tunde. In fact, I should put Yard up as well for his post-fight interview as well, because that was just sheer Cam Newton-esque after Super Bowl and stuff like that. Lions in the camp, but no, I'm going to go for Tunde.
Wow, it's getting interesting now. Obanov, Tunde and Johnny Nelson have all been nominated. Matty, you could make it a 4-way tie or settle this all on your own. The power is in your hands.
Oh, man, I nominated Big George for a reason. What the hell does he have against Mike that he's trying to get that old man's ass kicked? That Big George, man, Big George.
There we go then. There is no winner. We've all picked somebody different. I thought Johnny Nelson might be a shoe-in this week, but it's a 4-way tie. We'll give them a WBA Roll of Honour maybe, shall we? An interim.